Hi, I'm Ralph. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're talking about ribeye, but not just any ribeye. We're talking about a tomahawk ribeye steak. These things are massive, so they can be kind of pricey and they can be a challenge to cook. We're going to do our best today. We're going to be using a reverse sear. So with that said, let's get started with the process. First, I'm just getting this steak ready to be tempered. But as you can see, it's got pretty decent marbling to it. Although this is not a prime cut. This is just a choice cut. And people have also asked me about cheaper cuts of meat. This, while it's an expensive steak, is a steak that was on sale. One way to save money on steak, shop in the middle of the week. It was on full price over the weekend, but by Wednesday, they've put these things on sale. So I was able to get this at a very good price. And if you consider how much it would cost to go out just for an average meal, not a steakhouse meal, just an average meal, you're going to be able to produce a meal for the whole family for much less than what you could just take them to a casual dining spot. So let's get started. Let's get it salted. You want to salt these things very generously. And we're going to be leaving this out on the counter to bring up to room temperature over the next couple of hours. Salt it on both sides. What we're looking for here is the salt is going to be bringing moisture out of the steak, and then over time that moisture is going to get absorbed back into the steak along with the salt. That is going to be helping to tenderize the steak as well as adding a little extra flavor. Now I'm not going to be adding any pepper to it at this moment. I'm going to wait till we get closer to cooking time before I do that, because this is the time for just getting some tenderizing into it. Let's get some out here on the tray so I can get a little bit out here on the edge. Then I'm going to put it on the rack so that the air can circulate all around it. You hear my dog Gunner in the background here. He's anxious to come help me cook. But we're going to be wrapping up this segment here pretty quick because now that it's seasoned, all we have to do is wait. So I will be back with y'all very shortly. Hi, we're back. Okay, we've had the steak resting for about 2.5, close to 3 hours now. It's had the salt soaking into it, and just gonna pat it dry right now. I've got my oven preheated to 250 degrees. Gonna put some additional salt and some pepper on. Now before I go any further, let me go ahead and explain a couple of things about ribeye steaks. Take a look at this. Ribeyes, including tomahawks, made up of a couple of different parts. You've got the body here, also known as the eye. Whoop. And this part that goes over the eye, also known as the cap or spinalis. The whole ribeye steak is a very tender steak. But the cap itself is the most tender part of the steak. Now that comes in different sizes because the ribeyes come from the back of the steak. They're going to be smaller at one end, larger at the other. You want the part from the larger end if at all possible. You're also wanting as much marbling as possible. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is not a prime cut steak. It is just a choice cut steak. But it still has good marbling. So within whatever grade steak you buy, look for as much marbling as possible and as large of a cap as possible. Now let me go ahead and continue and put some ground pepper on here. And we are ready to put this in. Just to confirm, this is a little bit over 2 inches, maybe 2¼ inches. And time for the oven, which, remember, 250 degrees. Oh, one last thing, almost forgot. And this is kind of important. We're going to be looking for an internal temperature of 120 degrees when we pull it out. To let me know that it's reached that degrees, I am putting in a meter probe, a meter thermometer. I'm putting that in, going toward the center of the steak here, keeping it away from the bone because that's going to throw off of our temperature readings. And that's going to keep track of the ambient temperature and the internal temperature for us, and it's going to alert us when the steak is ready to come out. And for links to the meter probe, that's down below in the description. And I'm going to get a readout on my laptop, or not my laptop, on my tablet. I could also get a readout on my phone. All I have to do now, start cook. And we're all set. It's going to tell me, looking for the target of 120 degrees. The internal temperature is currently 60 degrees. And when it gets up to 120, it is going to let me know. Meter, I really like these things. I'm sold on them. Again, link in the description below. With that said, we will be back shortly. Hi, we're back. The meter thermometer is registering that the steak is ready, so we are about to pull it out. Okay, we're giving this just a moment to rest. I've got the griddle already heating up. Going to put some oil on it in just a moment. While we're waiting for that, if you're enjoying the video, please consider pressing like down below. And if you'd like to have some input into the channel, please press subscribe, because I appreciate all the comments that we're getting and all the suggestions for future videos that we're getting through those comments. With that said, let's move on to the next phase. I'm going to be getting some oil on the griddle. It's hot enough where that is steaming. I'm going to have to speak up nice and loud because I've got the fan on. There we go. Now, in a previous video, I had some suggestions from some of the viewers who thought that I was letting it stay on the griddle for too long before flipping it. And I was letting it stay on for about 2 minutes. They suggested doing it for 1 minute per side, twice as often. So I'm going to do it for 1 minute, flip it over for 1 minute, flip it back, 1 minute, and then a final minute, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay, flipping it the first time. Oh, that's getting a really nice char on it. So let's get that timer set. Yeah, that is looking great. Now for our final flip. That's a good solid char on there. So there's a little bit of buildup of fond on the griddle. I'll move it around a little bit, see if I can soak some of that up and get it to stick to the steak itself. That should do it. Now let's just see if we can sear the sides a little bit. Okay, great. Pulling that off, we're going to give it just a moment to rest. Again, I hope you're enjoying the video. And if you do have any interest, it's a meter thermometer. Let me see if I can get a better close-up on that. Again, details down below in the description. But I love mine. Okay, we're back. It's done resting. While it was resting, I went ahead, buttered it up. Let's slice into it, see what we've got. Oh, that is cutting so easy. There is what we have. That is great. Okay, I want to get a really good close-up of this. That is looking fabulous. Now, how does it taste? That is heavenly. That's like melting in your mouth. It takes like zero effort to cut into it. You've got to try this. Just look how easy this cuts. I bet I could even cut this with the back of my knife. Pretty much. This is awesome. Really, you've got to try this. Leave me a comment down below, hopefully a subscription, and we will catch you the next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.